Hello and welcome back. As always, thank you for joining me today. As we frequently do here, let's jump right into it with an idea that is central to this course and is worth repeating over and over and over again until we begin to accept it, put it that way, until we begin to allow it to permeate our mind and then develop the wish to do as our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, suggests and act on it. I know. In other words, to do the work of this course, which is how we really learn. Yeah. So, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the fact that in giving A Course in Miracles in the first place, in dictating this course to begin with, Jesus is addressing the mind. He is not addressing us as a body. Let's be 100% crystal clear on this. And no, we did not learn this in school. We certainly did not learn this in high school biology class. That's for sure. I mean, really, everything that we've been taught about ourselves, about others, about the world itself, is upside down and backwards. A Course in Miracles comes along when you're ready for it, and you're ready for it, whether you've been a long-time student or you're just starting out, any place in between, or whether you're a course student yet at all. And somehow this material found you. Yeah, you're ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Boom, voila, stick around. You're not a body. You've always known this. How can I say that? Really, how can anyone say that with 100% certainty when we're taught that that's exactly what we are? Well, you're interested in spirituality. So let's back up a moment, shall we? And think about that. I mean, this is not a biology video. It is not a nutrition video. It's not a video on how to get bigger biceps and last longer in bed. Nothing against anything like that at all. But that's not this video. You're interested in spirituality, which should tell you everything you need to know. At one point in time, whether you were consciously aware of this or not, makes no difference. You have formulated the thought, the idea that there's something more to our experience. There's more to it than just meeting the physical needs of this organism, eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom, getting up the next day and doing it again, giving this physical organism some fine, fancy threads or any threads at all, shelter, you know, maybe every now and then we throw in a nice bottle of wine. I don't, that. You've formulated the idea that there's a lot more to it than that, which has led you to this thing that we call spirituality, the path, the walk, whatever you want to call it, a journey. Whatever your journey has looked like up until this point, you have formulated the idea that there's more to it than this, and you have determined whether, again, you were consciously aware of it at the time or not, to set out upon the path. And we say different things here in the world. We seek, we find what we're looking for, maybe, if we want to. And I hope you want to, because if you really do seek, you can't help but find because you're the answer you're looking for everywhere. And you know this deep down. So here you are. You've never, in fact, entered a body, no matter what people say in the world. Period. A Course in Miracles goes to what we might call rather long lengths to explain to us and to reiterate and to drive home the idea, the point, the truth, the fact that you're not a body. If you've been through the workbook for students, you may remember lessons 201 through 220, 20 consecutive lessons. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. The rhyming scheme in the English language, at least, is deliberately placed so that it sticks. 20 consecutive days of repetition help to ensure that it sticks, plus all of the other countless mentions of this fact throughout the course. And you know it's true. You know there's more to it than this. This is finite. You're not finite. And you don't have to continue to believe that you are. Choice is yours. In fact, this choice belongs to each and every one of us right here in the present moment. The reality is the body doesn't really know anything. I mean, we like to credit the body with having an intelligence of its own and it can heal itself and all of that stuff. And as fascinating as all of this biological stuff and medical healing and stuff may be, the body simply does what it's directed to do. What is the director? Who is the director of this organism? You are the mind. It is this mind that Jesus addresses with this course. The decision maker, if you prefer to call it that. The mind that gets to choose right now in the present moment, God or the ego, life or death, truth or illusion, light or dark. Call it whatever you want to call it. That's the choice. We have but one choice, not 8 billion choices. One choice. In the present moment, there are exactly two options. Which would you choose? God or the ego? Love or fear? Mm. And in the next moment, when you become aware that indeed you do have this choice and no one, upon no one, can take it away from you, then you get to choose again, love or fear. Incidentally, as you well know, and it's not convenient to tell ourselves this, because we would prefer, of course, not to believe it, but should you choose to say, "Ah, I have no choice," you've chosen the ego. That's a choice. To say, I have no choice, I'm helpless. Oh, you are not helpless. Rise. Hmm? That would be very kind of you. We're being invited, gently for sure, to snap out of it. And we all want to. Don't you really want to? Are you sick of these games? And we actually do have to ask ourselves that on the spiritual path, don't we? Because spirituality is about taking responsibility, full, total, and complete responsibility for our experience. And as you go along studying and practicing this course, it becomes readily apparent that all of the stuff that's going on, we're doing to ourselves. We've made the world, including all of the bodies that appear in them. We can set the illusion aside. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that you leave the physical body behind. What's most likely to happen for you is that you appear to still be here, but you don't have to see it the same way. What I highly recommend is if you're struggling on the intellectual level or the metaphysical level or the level of understanding these teachings with the so-called rational intellectual thinking mind that we bow down to, prostrate to, lick, adore, and worship on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock, it's real easy to see its limitations. What I invite you to do is this: if this troubles you, ask our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, for guidance. Do that. Really. The body does what the mind tells it to do. If the mind tells the body to judge, it judges. If it tells the body to attack, the body can be used for attack. If, on the other hand, it tells the body to smile and laugh, guess what? Yeah. If the mind tells the body to extend love, it extends love. It does what we tell it to do. Now, you may protest that, well, I haven't told it to be sick. If you are sick, if you're ill, if you have a grave illness, maybe perhaps even one that's life-threatening, well, this is not convenient for us to hear. This course isn't addressing the body, it's addressing the mind. Healing is of the mind. Will the physical body follow your healing of the mind? It often does. However, whether it does or does not is not the point. Therefore, the course doesn't guarantee that if you suffer from a chronic condition, that you'll be miraculously cured of that. Healing is of the mind. Jesus wants us to understand that. The body does what the mind directs it to do. Up until now, we've been directing our mind to remain separate, so we think, from our brother, from whom we're not separate at all. And as a result of this separation, we've attacked the body. We loathe it and hate it for its frailty, yet we still continue to believe it's us. It's not us. Let this permeate your mind. It's what we're invited to do. This may rub you completely the wrong way. That's all right, actually. What's wrong with that? It's part of the path. Expect resistance. We can all, 100% of us, expect resistance to the truth. It's the ego that resists, always. Count on that. Give the body over to the Holy Spirit. I highly recommend you do this. Give it over, and specifically, if you feel the need, speak to your inner teacher and give this device over for his purposes, for the purposes of healing the mind. Give it to him, let him use it for healing the mind, and watch what happens. We find this threatening because we don't really know what the Holy Spirit is. Well, it's not outside you. In giving the physical body, your entire experience, in fact, every aspect of your experience, over to our inner teacher for his purposes, i.e., healing the mind, extending love. In so doing, we are not appealing to a foreign power. There is no foreign power. There is nothing outside you. Nothing. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind. Let's appeal to it. It knows what to do and exactly how to direct us. Ours is to let it, to simply give it over, relax, and trust our inner teacher's guidance. That is the whole of spirituality, isn't it? No matter the tradition. Relax and trust. This part of our mind knows who we are, and you do too. Want to go there? Good. It remembers what you are, where you are, and will speak to you of all of this and direct you here on wobbling spinning ball of rock when we appear to be one of these communication organisms, things. Again, the Course isn't addressing the body in any way. What body? It's addressing the mind. So coming to terms with this is very important. In fact, along the way, as we study and practice this material, it's critical, really, isn't it, that we begin to accept that this is not who we are. In fact, because it doesn't last, it's a transitory illusion. So while we appear to be here, give it over to the Holy Spirit for his purposes. This does not mean that you'll be deprived of your livelihood. This does not mean that you'll be deprived of your intimate relationships. It does not mean either that you'll be deprived of your fabulous bottle of Left Bank Bordeaux that you've been saving for a tasty occasion. It does not mean that you have to open it and pour it down the sink because it's bad. So don't do that to yourself. Drink it. Yeah, you see where we're going with this. People tend to wildly swing to extremes, don't we? So you may find that these ideas confirm something that you've always felt. That is one possible way to look at this. It's one possible reaction. You may also wish to run the other direction. And should you choose to, well, no one's going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. Nobody's going to stop you. It's your choice. Remember, it's your choice. So, I mean, do you want to? Do you want more of the same, or do you want to legitimately heal? Healing is of the mind. Jesus addresses the mind in giving this course. So it's very important for us to remind ourselves of, hence this video. So I thank you for tuning in. And should you have questions or comments, you're more than welcome to leave them here in this thread. Questions are inevitable on the spiritual path. It's a process of deep, deep self-inquiry after all, so why would they not arise? Yeah, if you've got them, please feel welcome to leave them, and do subscribe too if you haven't. Thank you to those of you who have recently joined us. The prompt is this icon over here in the corner of your screen. Click that, hover over that, join us, and we'll see you again on the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in.